Morning, everybody. This is July 3rd, 2010, the day before our Independence Day celebrations that happen around this country. We're down just north of Winnona, Minnesota. We went down to Winnona and stayed the night, and this morning a cousin of ours and one of our good friends here from Winnona came up, and we went to a Perkins to eat. And we discussed the walk a little bit, and we discussed some of the other stuff. The good friend of ours, his name is Roy. He's a dairy farmer down here in Winnona. And I'll tell you what, that man works harder than just about anybody I can think of. He gets it up at dark 30 in the morning. Got to milk them cows, you know, in the morning before you get going with your other chores. He's been busy chopping hay and putting up hay for the season. And then that takes care of him pretty much all day. He's working on peas and things like that, farming, working on those fields. And then he comes home and he's got to milk them cows again. He told me he doesn't get done milking or done with his day's chores until after 10 o'clock at night by the time he gets done. I'll tell you what, I got to thinking this morning after I talked to him, or last night. And you know, we need to get some people in Washington, D.C. that know how to nurture something. I got to thinking about dairy farming and ranching and regular old farming. And you know, you bring a calf or an animal into this world, you have to nurture it. You have to treat it right. It's got to be fed. Usually for the first few months, the mother takes care of the feeding of the small young animal through the milk she gives. After that, he's either got to go out on the pasture and eat the grass that's around. And during the winter months, like up in North Dakota, you got to feed them hay all winter long. You got to make sure they got water, because a cow will not eat snow like a horse will when he gets thirsty. But I'll tell you what, you got to nurture that animal, whichever kind it was, or you have to nurture the seeds that you put in the ground for the food that we eat. And I got to thinking, these people in Washington, they need to nurture our country. They have to take care of it, just like a farmer or a rancher does, a dairy farmer. And by nurturing, I mean you take care of it. You help it along so it grows and grows until it finally reaches maturity to where you can maybe make a little bit of profit off of it. Well, these people in Washington, they're not nurturing our country. Our country is being raped and stolen from. They're tearing it apart. It's mighty sad, because we got people out there like our good friend Roy, who works from sunup till sundown and somewhat afterwards sundown most days. And the price of milk might be down one day, up the next, but down the next. He never knows what the price of his milk is going to be when he goes and sells it. Same way a farmer doesn't know what the price of that animal that he's raised from a calf all the way to maturity. He doesn't know what that animal's worth when he sells it. That changes on a day-to-day market because of the commodity prices. Same way with the farmer. Whatever he puts into the ground, you know, he might some years have a good crop, other years a bad crop. Rain might get him, hit him at the wrong time, might not have no rain, might have hail come out and hail the whole crop out. And what do these folks do? I mean, they're out working from sun up to sundown, you know, to help keep our country fed. Just a dang shame that we can't have people in Washington that work the same way and have the same principles and values that these hard-working people out here in the agricultural community have, born and raised with. And they expect the same from our people in Washington. But Roy was telling me there was a senator come down to one of his neighbors who's also a dairy farmer, he came down there and stayed the night with them, and he was weekend with them, and that man was just amazed that they had to get up even on weekends to milk them cows twice a day. You got to, otherwise they dry up, give no milk. I mean, they got to be milked twice a day, every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You know, people in the cities and these educated elite people that come out of these universities nowadays, they have no clue what the real living is and real life, how it all works and how it's put together. Whereas a farmer, rancher, somebody lives in a rural community, they kind of grow up with that. It's pretty much common sense to them. Anyway, I guess these are just the musings of an old man here who just kind of gets tired of hearing the rigmarole that's going on in D.C. and just really refreshing to meet friends like Roy and my cousin Ed. He used to be an auctioneer. I think he still does now and then, but it's really refreshing to be around people who understand what real living is and what life is about. And they struggle hard to make a go of it. But yet with taxes and regulations and things like that, it makes it pretty hard for them. Anyway, the musings of an old man here, so God bless you, God bless America. Check me out next time. Have a good day.